Welcome back to Life is Zeitgeist.
Well, you know, guys, it only took Chloe dying 5 times, but we finally are on the proper timeline.
Right, guys, the defining spirit or mood of a particular period of history is shown by the ideas and beliefs of the time. The story captured the zeitgeist of the late 1960s.
Sorry, Dwebs, I'm not particularly interested in that.
I mean, you said life is zeitgeist, and I looked up the meaning, and I was like, does that make sense to
I thought you were reading that bit there. Sorry. Okay, so this bit in the museum is where you can check out all the various paintings, check out what the women think about what the people think of Max's work, because she's apparently now famous because of the photograph that she took. I don't think there's anything particularly special about the photograph, but you guys can feel free to tell me what you think when we actually do see it.
Not so much that she's famous, just that she won the contest, so her photo is going to go here for that.
I guess.
I mean, it's not really...
This is generally how art classes usually work in the long run. Like, I didn't take art at college or university, but I know a fair few who did, so I at least kind of know how it works.
Oh, look, it's Man! Let's talk to Man!
And I do know that there's an art to photography, so I'm sure that she did it with very good camera taking skills and maybe some good editing on that regard. Like, I'm not one to knock the arts here and there, so I won't treat it like, oh, it's just any random picture.
Sure. And yeah, like Man just said, Max subverted the art of the selfie.
You must be the everyday hero from
Man is best character in this game, clearly.
I run the media department at Detroit School of Visual Arts. I'd love to talk about you being a residency next spring. Don't say anything to Principal Wells.
Why aren't you looking at me?
God.
Because that would require specific animations that the developers of this game don't have the budget for. So, there you go. There's Max's photo. Her on her from the back, looking at all of her selfies.
I can get the artistic value in this, I guess. So, but yeah.
Oh my God, your face is really low poly.
Oh.
Sorry to bother you, but my name is Danny Lee, and I'm with the Berkeley People's Herald. I edit their art section, and I totally...
Did they speed up his voice
I
and
know
tone?
the whole ironic selfie thing is kind of played out, but there's something...
He looks like he looks like an early PS2 game model.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I get it, low budget, but surely
But
they
you
could
didn't
have
give me a
polished
chance to
this
say
one up.
anything.
Maybe late PS2 model at best.
I don't know, Debs. God of War 2 looks amazing, so I will definitely say early PS2.
I mean,
I spent an SSX, a launch game that came out in 2000, had better character models.
okay,
And, well, yeah,
to
the
be fair,
bigger
I
budget
guess it's
probably.
more so-
Go on.
I guess it's more so a thing that PS2 games across the board have not aged the best and looks like some better than others, for sure.
Well, at least that woman's face looks somewhat more okay-ish. Okay.
Maybe it looks more okay because we didn't zoom in on it.
Oh, look.
Again, I don't think... What?
There you go, it's another one.
Well, I have to say, this is the best everyday hero show I've seen since it began. All the pictures say a lot about our times. Bravo.
Okay.
Dude.
So anyway...
Dude. Yes. This picture of two women kissing tells us a lot about our times. I guess?
Was it intentional that they placed him in front of that picture when he said that line?
Probably.
He's here for the art, Pedro. He's here for the art.
She, of course. I never said otherwise.
It's like watching anime for the plot, you know? You're here for the plot.
Sure.
I feel like a famous photographer.
Well, it depends on what kind of anime you're watching. If it's hentai.
I mean, that's the joke.
Anyway, I should do like this conversation with the principal, actually.
Great response to your work so far.
It's kind of surreal to be here after everything that happened at Blackwell.
All the more reason.
Understatement.
Success.
Maybe I feel guilty for celebrating.
Leave that to me. I should have been more proactive about Kate Marsh and her awful situation. She's strong, and I'm glad she made it out of that hell. Should have put my foot down with Nathan Prescott. Or put my foot in his ass.
I did tell you that Nathan was involved. Not that I expected anyone to believe me.
I'll regret that for the rest of my life, Max. The Prescotts knew how to protect their own, and Jefferson had such a great reputation. Nobody expected him to be so disturbed. I couldn't believe
Always
the police
the
found those
quiet
sick photos
ones.
in this dark room. Oh, those poor girls.
At least he's in jail along with Nathan for kidnapping and murder.
And Sean Prescott is now under serious investigation for...
Oh my god, it's even a timeline where the Prescotts are going down for all their corrupt stuff. Seriously, this is a great ending.
If only Chloe was dead too. Now that would make this timeline perfect.
Jefferson. And he even brought him to Blackwell.
Maybe we can make her better somehow?
I'd like to think
I don't know, Jova. At this point, I consider Chloe a lost cause.
coming.
I do believe that what goes around comes around. I just hope it's all good for a change.
I'm hoping this is a fresh start, Principal Wells.
Like I said before, you're an adult now, Max. You can call me Ray. Oh, at least for this event.
It says
Now,
something
if
that
you'll
even the
excuse me, I
flipping
hear
principal
buffet
has a better
calls
character
in.
arc than Chloe does.
Yeah, we barely see him.
To go call my wife
Yeah.
and tell her I have
I think here's the problem with Chloe. She is pretty much for the most of the game stuck on one mode. Pissed off and angry with little to no development. Again, the best she is when she's in traction in the alternate timeline, but
Another one who's called Man. A lot of man in this game.
I guess they couldn't come up with names for all the NPCs here.
I guess.
Abstractions. The Zeitgeist is doing some unique stuff this year.
Yes, quite interesting. Quite artistic. Yes. Let's look at
Listen,
our...
I just like art because it's pretty, okay? I'm a
there she
simple
is to save the day.
Hi. You did it.
Duh.
You're a real artist. At least for today.
Oh crap, the drugs are kicking in again. Sorry, Shiroi. Turn away.
Yep.
There you go, Shiro. You asked about the tornado in the last part. Well, there you go. I'll tell you when you can look up again. There you go. Now you can.
Hey, are you okay? We lost you there for a second.
I'm okay.
Yeah, jet lag. Yeah,
High altitude.
jet lag makes your nose bleed. Don't you know that?
Oh, you left the ringer off, idiot.
Couldn't you just put it in vibration at least?
Please answer.
Max, holy shit, man, your vision. It's true. You saw the tornado. It's coming.
Oh, never mind. I mean, yeah, the whole of Arcadia Bay is going to die too, but, well, you know, like, sometimes gotta make sacrifices for the greater good, so at least Chloe will be dead, so...
But everyone we know and love will be dead too.
And
Yeah.
that's not many people, but why do they have to die?
So what about this?
Basically, Wibbs, we just called Chloe on the phone. Turns out the tornado is still going towards Arcadia Bay and Chloe's about to die. So we have to find a way to once again go back in time and prevent the tornado from fucking shit up.
Max? You know, maybe at this point Chloe is destined to die.
It's natural selection, Max. Go on, those.
Also, not just Chloe. What about everybody else?
Don't worry,
Yeah.
Don't worry, Wibbs. We're going to save them too.
Honestly, it's like I mentioned, the game literally forgot about that tornado for the most part until it became convenient.
Yeah, that's nice, dude. Okay. So, this bit where we are trying to do once again, the focus minigame, you know, if you don't every time you fail, I actually do like this detail where every time you do fail, one of them actually asks you stuff
Interrupts you.
because they want to ask you questions about your work and all that shit.
I do not have the time to deal with everybody.
Leave me alone. I'm trying to do the minigame.
and trying to save the world.
Or in this case, the town, but yeah.
Have you tried running and jumping into it, Max?
Alright, here we go. Back to the moment where we took this selfie. So basically, the idea now is, okay, this is where I don't get. Right now, the idea is that we traveled back into the place where this photo was taken. Oh, you'll see, hold on.
It feels like
Yeah, apparently messing with the space-time continuum over and over is starting to have negative consequences.
No shit.
Okay. And now, here's the photo.
I just have to make one simple change, so I won't end up in.
Hold on, Max. Like, can't you just? Well, then again, I guess there's no other photo you could use right now. So sure, I guess.
Sorry, San Francisco.
Okay, sure.
Chloe comes.
Does she have to, Max?
Okay. You know what annoys me is the fact that it's only really Chloe she focuses on, and not the fact that, all of Arcadia Bay is gonna get destroyed.
So yeah.
So does the weirdo still go to jail in this timeline?
Unfortunately, no, Shiro. And this is where I start. Becoming incredibly. Hold on. Remember what we did just now. See, we're back at the dark room. See, okay. Here's my question. Okay, we teared up the photo that we present to Mr. Jefferson. Okay, cool. I understand that. That means we don't end up in San Francisco anymore. Here's the thing, though. The bit where we do call David to arrest Jefferson still happened. The only thing we changed right now was our presenting the photo for the contest, which has nothing to do with Jefferson getting arrested. So how come tearing up that photo in the past changed the timeline so that we get back in here? That doesn't make any sense.
The mentality of this game seems to be that while you do change some stuff, a lot of the alterations you made still hold up in the timeline, even though that is really a bit of a leap in logic. So I guess the idea is like, well, even though she didn't enter the contest, she still was able to do the thing that, contacted stuff.
Allow me to remind everybody how things went the last time we went back in time. First, we called David to go into the dark room and find all of the evidence that accused Jefferson. And after that, we presented the photo for the contest. So all we did just now is we went back in time to tear off that photo. The photo has nothing to do with us denouncing Jefferson. So I get butterfly effect, but if you're trying to imply that somehow tearing out that photo also somehow makes it so that our call to David didn't happen, you should at the very least somehow try to explain or convey that. Instead, we're just randomly back here with no explanation. You see what I mean? How in this episode the game just farts all over the story? Seriously, at this point the game just threw away all sense and logic out the window. At this point the game is just doing whatever the fuck it wants.
I can kind of get where they're coming from, the idea that this thing overwrites the thing that happens later because due to different circumstances it wouldn't happen that way. The frustrating thing is that this is not explained well, and I get why they did it this way, to keep things relatively simple without making them too complex. Ironically, though, they just ended up muddying the waters.
Yeah, ironically, that's what makes this confusing. That's the problem. Like, at this point, I mean, if you're going to go on a multi-timeline time adventure, just go all out. Just properly elaborate about every step. Why not? Like, I like those kinds of things.
What?
Go on.
And in that regard, I do think that there was a heavy missed opportunity with not allowing us the chance to stay in certain timelines. Like I mentioned, how cool would it have been if we got an option to stay in the timeline where Chloe is not a dick, but in traction, and maybe it's about trying to help her there. Or...
At least.
There you go, the loss of youth, that was just saying. That's what he's fascinated about, the loss of youth. Again, he's just Cocoa for Cocoa Puffs. Don't bother. Go on, Jova.
It's a pretentious art thing in his regard. Yeah.
You don't know what's happening.
Shh. Quiet, Max.
No.
Technically, he's probably in a bunker that will keep him safe from said storm, ironically.
I get that you want to maintain the tension. I get that you want to keep things, you want to keep the dramatic tension, making things, exciting / tense / dramatic.
Wait. Did he just stick the needle through the solid top of the bottle?
There might be like a hole in there, like that's needle-sized. I don't fucking know.
Like I said, Jova, at this point the game is just doing whatever the fuck it wants. Oh, but turns out, apparently our warning to David still somewhat happened. It just happened differently somehow. He only came in now for some reason, and alone this time. I don't really get how this works. Game, you could at the very least explain how exactly this changed. It's just changed I get it, you want to have this puzzle. Basically, this is the game's another way to create a puzzle. Now you have to rewind and try your best to warn David so that he can avoid Jefferson's attacks. I get that. You want another puzzle, another rewinding puzzle. That's fine, but can't you come up with a context where it makes sense to have that? It's just like, I don't know, that's just like, remember, this is a story-heavy game. Most of this game is just cutscenes. This is one of those games that lives and dies by its narrative. If the narrative stumbles, the whole game stumbles.
The whole changing one thing can alter things that we've already previously changed again makes sense, but I think the game does a very poor job at explaining why certain changes happen and why some changes revert.
Yeah, honestly, this problem could be solved if they just elaborated more on how certain things were changed. Maybe they wanted to leave it up to the audience's impression, but I feel like that can just end up being an excuse for sloppy writing.
Yeah. In this case, I will definitely agree with that.
What?
Okay, so that didn't work either. Okay, so we tried asking for a last request from Jefferson, see if we can somehow... Okay, so that didn't work. Oh, that's fair.
Turn off the lights, then David could shoot Max by the
Some water. Let's try some water, yeah. So yeah, turn it...
Is that what happens if you turn out the lights? David shoots Max by mistake.
I don't remember what's... Play some music didn't work. My idea was, well, that way David won't hear David coming, but it didn't work either because he used that as a shield. But this time we asked him to give us some water. Hopefully this will work somehow.
Plot twist, that wasn't.
Also, I love how the bottle of water, like it's water brand water. My favorite water.
Yeah, right next to beer.
This final dose won't hurt. What?
Alright, now let's warn David.
Time to shut the fuck up, okay?
Oh. Okay, that didn't work either. Let's rewind and try again. This time we have to warn him after he's far away from us.
David,
there you go.
watch out! How did you know that?
That didn't work either. Apparently. Push this, maybe? There you go.
No gun. No balls. Jefferson, it's over. You are not going to stop me.
Fuck.
Oh,
okay, didn't work either. Rewind.
We'll try this again.
Maybe check that thing earlier.
Warn about the gun. Or not. Okay, fine.
We need to do that a bit earlier.
The many deaths of David Madsen.
It's over.
Aha! Grab that bottle. Oh. Or not.
You're a lousy
Try this again.
Pull the cable. There we are. Yeah, as you can see, you can rewind as many times as you want. Just try everything until you find the solution.
Okay.
Wait, still grab the gun.
Right. Can you move?
Don't worry, he's knocked out now. Sure. And
it didn't seem like it, so it's just...
And he's tying him up now, so... Since he's military, he knows how to tie knots.
I think he's untying us right now.
Oh, right. Well, he's gonna tie him, though, still. Yeah, what he said, yeah. And there you go, Shiro. I just took the gun. Boom. Haha.
Another one for good measure.
And there you go. This is now we're going to get David's big redemption moment that Jove has been hyping up.
Or worse.
Mr. Jefferson, now it's your turn to be captured in a moment.
Yeah, now see how you like it when you have a photo taken of you.
Save Chloe. He burned
Why?
everything, including all of my photos.
Because, Shiro, Chloe is her world. She needs her.
She's already dead. It's fine. You know? It happened. We can move on.
Max, it's natural, it's natural selection. Sometimes people die, okay? It's hard and sad, I know, but...
Here's my bigger problem. Yes, worry about Chloe, but Max, did you forget also the fact that the town is going to get destroyed as well? Also,
Chloe.
don't forget about that.
But Chloe...
Pathetic now.
Alright, so we can move on, or we can actually talk to Jefferson to get this optional scene. Let's go.
Are you okay?
Look at this place. It feels like hell.
Jefferson was going to kill me, like he did to Victoria Chase.
Oh yeah, and Victoria's already dead by this
We
point.
suspected that son of a bitch.
You kind of suspected everybody.
Yes, and this is what I get for wasting all those hours on the Prescotts. I set my sights too wide. Lack of focus.
I know the feeling.
I wasn't surprised when you accused Nathan of drugging Kate Marsh. I thought so too. And Max, I treated Kate like shit. I know she's a good person, but I'm not. I hope I get to tell her that soon.
Kate was bullied.
Kate was bullied up to that roof. But it was still Nathan and Jefferson who put her there.
I knew Nathan Prescott was a threat. I just waited too long to neutralize him.
Jefferson already did.
And admittedly,
They had some
yeah, with
weird
his dad, he
other
would have
son
needed
thing going on.
extremely solid proof to
But
bring Nathan
killed
down.
Rachel, and Jefferson had to use him as a scapegoat.
That pervert was pulling all this shit right under my nose, too. I could have stopped him and Nathan if only... I wasn't
Well,
so
if it's any
stupid.
consolation, Nathan's dead too.
I told Principal Wells Nathan had a gun and almost used it.
I mean, he
But
did
didn't
use
wanna
it in a
believe
different
me.
timeline.
I should have been more loud.
We all make decisions we regret. But I have to admit, I'm impressed by you. And Chloe. And your investigation. I had all the high-tech toys, well, you had each other.
We are a great team.
That's one of my problems.
No, honestly. Like, okay. Dislike of Chloe aside, honestly, it was Max doing like 90% of the work.
Excuses for my behavior.
Yeah, Chloe just... it's the... Hey, Shiro, you know what it is?
Be a good soldier.
It's like that cutaway from season 4 of Family Guy with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck writing something, where Matt Damon is writing the script.
Yeah.
Like, and you go, there you go, by Matt Damon,
Yeah.
and then Ben Affleck's like, can we put my name in there too? What? You didn't do anything. You just stood there and smoked pot all day. Oh, come on, I helped. Okay, just pitch me a line right now. And then he farts.
Yeah.
There wasn't a line. You just farted. Is there any more pot? That's basically Chloe and Max's relationship as well. So, Chloe's Ben Affleck and Max is Matt Damon. Go on, Joe.
I think the most Chloe did was introducing us to the people that we needed to know, but no. Most of the tact was handled by Max in this timeline overall.
Most people don't know.
Max is the one saving people, actually, whereas Chloe just wanted to kill Nathan, and even then that ended up to be barking up kind of the wrong tree in that regard, since that made them play right into Jefferson's hands.
Chloe, she would be proud of you.
I just want to see her safe with her mother. I promised Joyce I would go.
Yeah, about that,
What
David.
about that, my dude?
I'll start by apologizing to Chloe. I don't expect her to call me dad, but maybe she'll stop calling me step douche.
This is
So,
awkward.
where is Chloe?
Again!
Okay, so now we have a choice to either keep the truth from him or tell the truth. What do you think? What do you guys think?
Tell him.
Let's see.
It's the better thing to do.
Yeah, let's do that.
David, Chloe is dead.
Believe it or not, this is like the 5th time it's happened before my very eyes.
This is like the 6th time now.
No, God. Not Chloe. Max, are you sure? Are you...
Yes, I saw her. I saw Jefferson kill her in the junkyard last night.
He's gonna want to beat the hell out of Jeff.
When I was feeling so...
Oh, more than that, we have the zero about to see.
I promised Joyce that I would protect
And now we can add yet another character to the list of people who have better character arcs than Chloe.
I never even told Chloe that I... God damn it!
You killed my wife's child, you sick fucker! And you took away my stepdaughter?
David, wait!
Yep, if you tell him the truth, he kills Jefferson.
Yep.
Which, don't get me wrong, Jefferson had it coming, but that ain't exactly
That's gonna
legal.
get him into trouble.
Mm-hmm. I guess at this point he just feels like he has nothing else to lose.
I'm sorry.
Because remember, Joyce, like he broke up with Joyce, he lost Chloe, so I guess at this point he's one of those places where he doesn't have anything else to lose, so might as well just take revenge, I guess. I don't know.
It's okay, I've seen Chloe get shot specifically several times this week.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't tell him the truth, he takes Jefferson into custody, and Jefferson gets his just desserts. So, I'll admit, this is one of those choices where I can actually see there being a good argument for either side of things.
Yep.
I think for me, the only argument for the other side is that, he could just believe Max doesn't know what happened to Chloe because she was knocked out and taken here.
David,
I think that is the line of dialogue. It's been a while since I played this part of the game, but what I do recall for sure is like, well, Jefferson does pay for his crimes.
Oh no! Even if
by the legal system.
even if David doesn't kill him here, I mean Jefferson goes to jail and all that shit and all that stuff. So
more due process, and in a way that does not. Okay, David arguably gets scarred either way, but this one is pretty messed up in its own right.
in fact, hold on.
Keep killing you.
Are you going to rewind and show the other way?
Might as well.
But yeah, no, seriously, David's yet another character who has a better arc than Chloe. Like, it's not perfect or anything, but like I say, the game does do an effective job of making you dislike him, but leaving enough room around for the possibility that maybe he is right on some of these things, to the point where it culminates where you see that, yes, he was always a well-meaning guy. He just had a very, very terrible way of showing it and communicating with the people he should have helped.
But unlike Chloe, he seems like the kind of person who would actually make the effort to change.
Exactly.
Chloe, on the other hand, doesn't seem to have any interest in doing that.
But Shiroi, Shiroi, gotta blame somebody, otherwise it's all my fault. Fuck that.
Because it is your fault.
I know, I'm sure that the developers meant well, but I really do have to wonder what they were smoking when they thought that Chloe would come off as likable. And yes, I know that probably when this game was first released, some people do say they see themselves in Chloe, but that's messed up for a whole another bout of reasons here and there. I will say this. Just because you sympathize with a character does not mean that you let that character get away with all their crap.
Oh, thank
Hey, Chloe, it's not your fault.
Well, I'm happy Chloe's a stoner.
Damn right it's
It's
not, man.
not your fault.
Yeah.
It's not your fault.
Oh god, that might actually get through to her.
You're a brave soldier. I'm glad Chloe has a best friend like you. Go on now. You've seen enough of this room.
Yeah, the cutscene in Hide the Truth is definitely a shorter. You can definitely tell that the developers probably prefer if you tell them the truth.
evidence
if you don't, he actually Luke goes into the computer and checks all the stuff.
He
There you go.
deserves it.
Jefferson. You're
Pulls up all of the evidence.
you in one piece.
Here's my thought process, Shiroi. Since I'm going to revert the timeline and save Chloe anyway, I might as well leave him, like this.
Spoilers, Pedro.
Well, she already. Well, Max already said that she's going to do it anyway. So.
Freedom.
Also, I did ask Pedro
go on.
a couple of questions off commentary, but he was very vague about the answer. So.
Oh wait, about what specifically?
The ending to the game.
Oh right, don't worry, Shiroi. We're like 2 parts away from it, so. Well, actually, no, 3 actually, because it's in part 22 that we end the story.
Photo
So.
you took last night in the parking lot.
Yeah, but why? It wasn't that great a shot.
Yes, it is, and I want it.
Yeah, remember that shot that Warren took of us when that's the shot we can use to return back to when Chloe was alive.
I'm on my way.
Come on, that's crazy.
Alright, Chloe, put on like hidden body armor or something.
You'll see.
It's okay. Me too. But it's not over yet, Warren. So hold on.
By the way, here's an interesting thing about the auto-saving in this game that I found interesting. Usually the auto-saving, this game saves a new checkpoint every time you move to a different area or something. Now, as you can see, there you go. It auto-saved right now. However, I'm
just gonna take David's car. Like, okay, I know we're gonna fix the timeline, but dang, like, in the perspective of this timeline, that would be pretty messed up if he comes up and sees that Max Stowe's car. Or at least I assume that one is David's car.
It's for
unless that's Jefferson's car. I don't know.
It's for a greater good. Well, not from my
It could
perspective.
be Jefferson's car. So.
Yeah, that too.
Maybe.
All right, everybody.
I guess it's just like, well, for all the bouts, I like to assume that that's David's car, so that's kind of messed up, but it could be Jefferson's as well.
All right, everybody. In the next part, we ran through the damaged, destroyed Arcadia Bay and try to save it from the apocalypse. So, we'll see you for that.
So, tune in next time for the stunning climax.
See ya.